You have a business, it's doing well, you'd love to sell it and get out of it and maybe start something new, and you're just looking to maybe change your life. I'm speaking today on the Bo Knows Who is Changing the World podcast to somebody who can certainly help you do that. And she has a best-selling book, another one coming out. The first one was called Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth. I'm with Michelle Seiler Tucker. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Everything is good. It's a sunshiny day. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure. I mean, I saw your bio and what you've done. I said, I have to talk to that lady. She's got something going on for sure. You're what they call, this is according to your website, but it says the USA's top closer, right? 90% of all listings and 98% of all offers are accepted. I mean, you negotiate between buyer and seller for a business, correct?
Right. Correct.
Okay. Can you explain some of how that process works?
Well, that's tough in a 30-minute show, but I just, a little bit background on me. I've personally sold 500 businesses. My firm has sold a little over 1,000. And we really specialize in helping our business owners maximize value. On average, we get them, 30 to 40% higher selling price.
Right.
We're able to negotiate win-wins because we really figure out what both sides want. What the sell side wants, what the seller sanity check is, what they're trying to accomplish with the seller of the business, what their priorities are, because it's different for every seller. And then on the buyer side, we really try to figure out what's most important to them when buying a business. There's 5 different types of buyers. We work with a lot of private equity groups, a lot of strategics, and they're buying synergies. So we figure out what's their negotiables, what's their non-negotiables, what are they willing to pay top dollar for? And we get as close to a win-win as possible. A lot of people say, well, you can't do a win-win, somebody loses. That's not true. You can get pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
And that's our core competencies. That's our specialty.
Well, that's the misconception that somebody loses, right? I mean, that's
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you just kind of bypass all that. That's such a great concept. I love that because, you want everybody to come off happy.
Yes.
Like example, I used to sell cars, and you always think, well, they always think you're going to rip them off, but no, it is almost the same thing. It's like a win-win. So you have been doing this for how long now? You said
I've been in mergers and acquisitions a little over 20 years.
Okay. How did you? I have to ask you how you decided to do this. What motivated you to start this?
Well, before this, I actually was in franchise sales, franchise consulting, and franchise development, selling franchises. I was also an equity partner with some different franchisors. I've always been an entrepreneur, owning many different businesses in many different verticals. And a lot of buyers kept coming to me asking me for existing businesses. And I kept saying, no, we only have startup franchises. And then I'm like, why am I saying no? I should be saying yes.
Yeah.
And law of attraction. And that really is what triggered me to open up my mergers and acquisitions firm. And then I learned very quickly that what Steve Forbes says is true. 8 out of 10 businesses do not sell. 80% of businesses do not sell. Steve Forbes endorsed my book, Exit Rich.
Wow.
So I started thinking, gosh, if I don't fix these businesses, grow these businesses, put them on a build to sell program, then I'm going to starve to death. So then that's really when I kind of transitioned from selling into fixing and growing. So we really specialize in buy, sell, fix, grow. I buy businesses and flip them. I partner with business owners, investing my core competencies, capital, resources in which to fix their business, grow their business, so they too can exit rich.
Wow. The title is perfect. Exit Rich.
Yeah, it is a perfect title. I tell you, we didn't come up with it easily. The publishing company came up with like Exit on Top. I'm like, Exit on Top? How about Exit Rich? I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. I'm like, good. Then you should be paying me.
Well, you wrote the book, so, maybe that makes a little sense. You like to disseminate information and share what you know and share your values and dedication with people who might think the same way, which is kind of probably why you're on this podcast and other ones. You train and mentor advisors as well. Do you do that?
I do. We have a 5-day training program where we teach individuals how to be a mergers acquisitions mastering Mediary. We also teach them how to fix businesses, grow businesses, partner with business owners. It's a 5-day training program, but they actually become our partner, and we support them all along the way.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And I'm sure there's a lot of success stories built into that as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. Let me see. I want to further talk about your qualifications here. Merger and acquisitions master, that's M and AMI, right?
Yeah.
And certified senior business. I want to say all this right because there's so much
Certified
stuff.
senior business analyst.
That one too. Certified M&A advisor, which I think you just mentioned.
Mhm.
And it says here, according to your website, that you close 98% of all written offers. And on
Mhm.
average, you obtain a 20 to 40% increase
Mm-hmm.
in selling price.
Yes.
That's a talent.
Yes.
That's a talent
That's
that I'm
20
sure.
years of experience.
Okay, here's something. Do you remember your first one?
Yes, I do. I do.
How'd that go?
Not too well in the beginning. I remember my very first two. One was a restaurant slash bar. They were actually pretty famous. They were featured on some big TV shows, or big news shows, like, I don't know, Today Show and some of those. What happened is I set up a buy sell meeting and the buyer got there an hour early.
Oh.
And I got there 15 minutes early, 15 to 20 minutes early, and they were already drunk. Already drunk. And they were negotiating. And I told them, don't meet without me, don't negotiate, etc. So they've already negotiated the entire deal. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? And the seller says, oh, Michelle's just upset because I signed the engagement agreement with her and I don't own the business. My wife owns it and we have a separate property agreement. So she's upset because she's not going to get paid.
Oh, well.
And I said, really? I said, well, I have one better than that. I said, you did sign the agreement and you personally guaranteed the performance of this agreement. Mm-hmm. And you also personally guaranteed that you own the business. So that's called fraud, my friend. I'll see you in jail. I'll see you in court. I'll see you in court.
So that was your first one.
Yeah. So then he said, oh, Michelle, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So anyway, we ended up closing that deal, but he was a shyster. And then my next deal was a flower shop and the landlord was out of the country. And I asked the attorney, I said, look, is there any way we can close without the landlord, signing the new lease? And he's like, oh, sure. We can just use this supplemental agreement. It'll be fine. We go to the closing table. We go to close the business and they go, well, where's the lease from the landlord? And the attorney said, well, Michelle, do you have that? And I said, well, no, I told you that they're out of town, out of the country. You said we could close with a supplemental agreement. He goes, no, I never said that. You can't close without a lease. Completely threw me under the bus.
Under the bus.
We ended up closing a few weeks later. So I don't sell those small businesses anymore. There's a reason for that. So we really specialize in businesses $10 million and up.
Oh, do you deal
I
with
do have agents. I do have a team that does sell to smaller
Okay.
businesses, but me personally, I sell businesses 10 million and up.
Do you specialize in brick and mortar or do you sell service-based business?
We sell everything. We've sold over 1,000 businesses in pretty much every vertical you can imagine.
Okay.
So we're industry agnostic firm. We sell e-commerce, we sell SaaS, we sell manufacturing, distribution, healthcare, retail, brick and mortar. You name it, we sell it.
Oh, wow. How long? I mean, this is your life, right? I mean, this is your passion to do this?
This is my passion. I own multiple companies. So at any given time, I own 5 to 10 businesses that I'm actually building to sell myself.
Okay.
But entrepreneurship is my passion.
I understand. And you're also a venture capitalist, correct?
Yes, I guess you could say that.
Well, your website says it. So yeah. Do you invest in other businesses?
I do. I invest in businesses. I partner with business owners. I take equity in the company. Uh-huh. And absolutely, I'm very particular who I invest with and who I become partners with. But yes, I do that.
Okay. The businesses you own and are running yourself right now, what do they run the gamut of? What kind of businesses are you doing?
So obviously M&A, medical clinics, medical, legal, marketing companies, graphics business. I've been in technology, I've been in publishing, I've been in event space.
So you're running the gamut then.
Mm-hmm. And I don't run them on a daily basis. I run my M&A firm, but I don't run all those businesses on a daily basis. We have teams, we have management teams.
Okay. That's good. Tell me about the concept of. I know you've explained exit rich, the title, and you came up with the title through the publishing firm, but basically does it take people, the book itself, does it take people through the process of what you do and how you do it, or just the fact that you can do it, or how does that?
No, so Exit Rich is not just about selling your business. And the reason for that is because most businesses are not sellable.
Oh, why is that?
80% of businesses don't sell. That's according to Steve Forbes.
Okay.
8 out of 10 businesses don't sell. There's many reasons for that. The number one reason for that is because business owners don't plan their exit. They don't think about selling until a catastrophic event has occurred, whether that's internal or external. Internal being health issues, partner disputes, divorce, death. External is this pandemic we're in. The worst time to sell your business is during a catastrophe because your business is trending downward. It's not doing well. We had a little sweet lady called us a couple months ago from Texas, and her husband dropped dead from a heart attack.
Ooh.
Left her with a mountain of debt. And she said, "Can you sell his company?" We couldn't, because he had no employees. He only has subcontractors, and all the data was in his head. When he died, the business died. So you really need to plan your exit from the beginning of starting or buying a business. Like Stephen Covey says, start with the end in mind. So Exit Rich, the first part of Exit Rich, the first section, is how to plan your GPS exit model through, from the beginning. So we walk them through. It's a 5-step process of how to plan your exit strategy model. And then the other several sections in the first half of the book is all about building the infrastructure on what we call the ST6Ps, because this is building your proprietary assets and your synergies that buyers will pay top dollar for.
Wow. Okay. So it really does go, and it really does tell people really how it should be done. Really.
Well, it does. And we also talk about the 5 types of buyers, or negotiables or non-negotiables. The second half of the book is all about evaluations. It's all about packaging your business for sale, finding the right buyers, accepting LOIs, due diligence, walking through due diligence, closing. So the first half of the book is your GPS exit, your seller sanity check, your 6 Ps, your infrastructure. And then the second half is all about evaluations and getting through to the closing table.
What are the 5 types of buyers?
So the 5 types of buyers, 90% of buyers are first-time buyers. They buy small businesses, coffee shops, restaurants, dry cleaners. Second type of buyers, turnaround specialists. They buy distressed assets. And then they turn around and fix them and sell them for a profit. Third type of buyer is PEGs, private equity groups. They buy based upon platforms and add-ons. So let's say that a private equity group wants to get into food manufacturing. Right. They won't even consider a food manufacturing business unless it has at least $3 million plus in EBITDA.
Okay.
EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization.
Okay.
Let's say they're already in food manufacturing and they're looking for add-ons. Then they'll look for smaller, like seasoning companies, spice companies, things of that nature, under $1 million in EBITDA.
Okay.
And then the fourth type of buyer is strategics competitors. Strategics and competitors pay for synergies. So they typically will pay the highest multiple of EBITDA because they're buying synergies that can catapult their current business to the next level.
Right.
Plus they take advantage of economies of scale, which can decrease overhead. Plus they look at overhead structure that they can cut because they already have an infrastructure. So again, decreasing overhead, increasing EBITDA from day one of closing. They typically pay the highest multiple. The fifth type of buyer is your sophisticated serial entrepreneurs, and like a Richard Branson, like a Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
They chase EBITDA. They're industry agnostic and they chase EBITDA.
Wow. Just wow. I love it. I'm gonna have to get the book. Check it out.
Yes.
Again, when does Exit Rich get released? When is it coming out?
So Exit Rich comes out June 22nd.
June 22nd.
Yeah, but people don't have to wait. They can go to exitrichbook.com right now. exitrichbook.com.
Okay.
For $24.79, we'll email the digital download to them immediately. Let me give you a quick case study. So we have an owner that called us up a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I printed out the digital version in big ledger paper. I'm using it as a workbook. I've taken your exit strategy, your infrastructure with the 6 Ps. I've included it in my, exit plan for my business and my growth plan for my business. And I want to hire you to build the business to sell. And we're going to probably sell this business between 30 to 50 million.
Holy moly.
And
Wow.
he said, there are things in here. He says, the best business book I've ever read. There are golden nuggets in here that I've never heard before.
Golden nugget.
And well, each chapter is actually called Golden Nugget.
Yeah, I love it.
And then, so for
Very
$24.79, we'll email you the digital download. We'll send a hardcover cover to your doorstep upon launch date for no additional fees if you live in the United States. Plus, we give you a lifetime membership into the Exit Rich Book Club,
Oh,
where you get video content and me doing deep dives into different strategies and techniques that I've taught over the last 20 years in the trenches, plus documents to run your business, documents to sell your business. So sample policy and procedure manuals, org charts, employee handbooks, sample LOIs, letter of intents, purchase agreements, due diligence checklist, closing documents.
oh,
And they're there for your review and download. If you want your attorney to recreate all of these documents, it will cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars. They're there for your review and your download. Plus, we give a 30-day free membership in the Club CEOs, which is a mastermind, an entrepreneur mastermind, where we do hot seats Q&As to really help business owners build a sustainable, scalable, and when they're ready, sellable business so they too can exit rich. All for $24.79 at Exit Rich Book Club.
that's a jaw dropper. It's a jaw dropper.
And all of that goes away after launch date. So get your copy today.
Yes. Well, we'll have the website on the screen here once the video gets released. Are those the bonuses you were telling me about earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So June 22nd, the hardcover, but go to that website now and check it out. I'm going to do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
$24. What was
$24.79. It's like less than lunch.
It's a few Starbucks coffees or something,
Yes. That's what somebody said the other day. Oh, that's 2 cups of Starbucks.
2? What do they drink?
Well, Starbucks is not cheap. A nice cup of coffee is like 10, 11 bucks over there.
It is. Yeah. Michelle, if you consent, I'd like to have you on again, maybe after book release at some point down the road, and talk about the success and maybe some more golden nuggets. I love that term, by the way. I want to ask you a couple of questions that aren't related to it, if I can. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I would have to say, is Wish Man. Well, I got 2 favorite movies. I'm going to give you 2.
Sure.
Wish Man by Frank Shankowitz, who was the founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation. He actually passed away not too long ago. It's on Netflix. It is one of my favorite movies. And then I love the founder, based upon the McDonald's brothers who started McDonald's restaurant, and Ray Kroc, who really blew it up into what it is today.
Wow. Okay. If you had a time machine, like a TARDIS or a Marty McFly DeLorean or something like that, and you could go back in time and speak to somebody that you admire, either a relative or a business person, who might you want to go have coffee with?
Well, I would say Frank Shankowitz. I just went to his celebration of life. I just recently lost one of my best friends at a very young age. She was 40. And I'd want to go back and talk to her.
Michelle Seiler Tucker, thank you so much for your wisdom. We look forward to the book. And as I like to say, live long and prosper.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure.